Welcome to Mariposa Woolen Mill needle felting kit instruction. Felting is causing the fibers to intermingle and mat together, and there's a couple ways that you can do that. Wet felting is one way, which is hot water, a bit of soap, and a lot of friction. And the other way is needle felting, which I'm going to demonstrate to you. The needles that you use for felting have ridges that encourage the fibers to grab onto the other fibers, and the more that you poke it, the more that it felts. It's always best to use a surface like a foam or a rice pad to protect the needle because it's fragile and it's also very sharp. Everything you need is included in the kit, so let's get started. Our waterfall needle felting kit begins like this. First, you need to find out where you want to begin. So if you wanted to put it in the hoop, just kind of map out where the edges are, because it will be so much easier to work free from the hoop. So I gave myself a reference and I'll work within that. Yeah. And I might just use the hoop to map out where I want my elements to fall within the hoop. And then once I've got that established, then I'll take the hoop away and work freely. So just mapping out where I want the rocks to be that are behind the waterfall. I'm going to use the light brown, the dark brown, and the gray. It's kind of a gray black, but it's dark enough. So we're going to be adding some green bits to the rock and the foliage behind, but we just want to map it out right now. I'm going to give a bit of area back here for the sky to show through. Mark out where I want the pool to be. Just layers of the rock indications here, just because I can. But I do want my rocks to show up as layers, so I'm just going to work more horizontal than vertical. So just blocking in some of this light color, we're going to layer it. going to block in some little bit of variation of color just up to show where I want trees to be. Block in the sky where I want it to appear, where it's peeking through. Now remember, you can layer. So I'm going to be adding more foliage on top, just blocking in that color. I'll probably add some clouds to that sky, but it's just blocking in the color. We already have that blue started. Just gonna make it more solid. Oops. The darker blue just around the edges for right now. Okay, so we're just going to add more detail, blocking in more color. You create your own rock formations using the color variations that you have.
To add the waterfall, use the length of the roving as long as you want. Don't divide it. And if you want it to have a 3D effect, then you may need to layer it. But just try and keep the fibers going in the same direction and gently poke them in. And just poke into the white so that the white felts together. So if you have it anchored on the outside and then just felt the white to itself, to the white color, by just going very shallow. And going down the waterfall, so you're not creating any unusual lines. And if it's still not thick enough, add another layer and just treat it the same. Clouds, just use a small little sprigs of the white, spread out the fibers. And to felt down so that everything is the same level, you can use both your needles and just work together with both of the needles, and it'll be twice as fast. So to add your picture to your hoop, disassemble the hoop just a bit, loosen that little bolt, nut, and then line up where you've marked your picture, line it up over the hoop that doesn't have the hardware. If you've loosened the hardware, then you can push it over the top of the other hoop. May take a bit more, all the way to the end of the little screw there, so that it fits over the other one, and then you tighten it down. And what's left over, you can turn it on the other side and just give it a scissor trim, and it'll have a nice clean edge. So this is our completed waterfall kit.
Thanks for joining me today. Hope this video was helpful. So to replenish your felting supplies, just visit us at the farm market or on our website.